I should bring me up some nice flowers, not those weeds.
Oh, I thought these were pretty.
Well, I'm not paying you for your opinion. I want something better. Now go out.
What's going on here?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Capwell.
Good evening, Marie. Those flowers are very nice.
Oh, thank you. I just picked them. Marie was just about to go and find me a vase.
You are picking flowers now?
That's right. I want everything in this room to be absolutely perfect.
This is not your room. You are not sleeping here. This is Ted's old room.
I know that. I've talked Ted and Hayley into moving back in with us.
When did you do that?
They're going to be moving in tonight, as soon as he gets off of work. Took a lot of persuading, but I know how important it is to you to have your family around.
You're looking for gratitude. You're looking in the wrong house.
No, that's not it. But it does make you happy to have Ted moving back in, doesn't it?
I'm happy when any member of my family moves back in. The outsiders I'd like to get rid of.
Yes, I realized that I did call before, but you know, sometimes there's this mistake in the lab and stuff. I see. So there's no doubt I'm pregnant. Thank you.
Victoria, what are you doing here? I figured you'd be back down in Hollywood working on a nighttime soap or something.
Sorry to disappoint you. Looks like everybody wants me out of town.
Well, we knew what the odds were. After all, we did get kind of a late start.
I am not too old to get pregnant.
I don't mean late in life, Julie. I meant late in your schedule. Actually, if you consider things objectively, it would have been rather surprising if you had gotten pregnant.
If you're trying to cheer me up, you're doing a lousy job of it.
Well, I'm sorry.
What if I can't get pregnant? I mean, what if I'm not able to conceive?
Julia, that is a totally premature fear, and you know it. You know what they say about Rome not being built in a day? Well, neither was Caesar. It takes time.
Is that your subtle way of saying that you wouldn't mind trying this again? Or have you changed your mind?
Now, of course, I haven't changed my mind, Julia. I do think it's important for you to realize that there's no guarantee it will work this time either.
Look, if you are having second thoughts, it's perfectly okay with me, I understand.
Julia, I told you I'd be happy to take you to bed again. All you have to do...
I know that you're trying to honor this agreement. But I also know that you started to see someone else. I mean, someone, period. And this could make things very difficult.
What on earth are you talking about?
I've seen you with Victoria Lane. And at first I thought it was just because you were angry at her for getting in the way of cruising Eden. But if there is any sort of emotional entanglement, I understand. And I know that this agreement would make things more complicated for you.
Julia, put your mind at rest. There is no emotional entanglement that will interfere with our agreement. Not with anyone, certainly not with Victoria Lane.
I told you, Lionel, I just can't discuss it.
Yeah, I know. But I can see that these visits to the prison are upsetting you. Now, what am I supposed to do? Just pretend that I don't feel anything?
I must do this on my own for now, Lionel.
Oh, come on, Kэрolайн. I see you almost daily. And what do we talk about? We never talk about me. We're talking about Alice and Jane and about how they are, where they're going in the evening.
I don't mean to do that, Lionel.
I felt at least we could remain, how you say, friends. But ever since these mysterious visits to the prison started, we seem to have struck a stalemate. I feel as if I don't know you as well as I did a month ago. You want me out of your life? I'm gone.
Oh, Lionel, please don't even think that. my visits to the prison aren't so much a secret, really, but there are other people involved.
All right. Okay, I've been very close with Jane. If that's the connection,
I'm not talking about Jane. It's Alice.
Alice? Well, when it comes to Alice, of course I am concerned. Maybe more than you have a right to be.
I'm not going to argue that with you, Lionel.
Now, not only do I care deeply about Alice, she is my legal ward. Her welfare is my concern. Now, come on, Kэрolайн, don't keep me in the dark anymore. Who is this man that you go to visit in the prison?
All right. All right, I've been seeing Alice's father.
Julia, the last thing you need to do is harbor these unwarranted fears. You are going to conceive a magnificent child, a prodigy for the ages the like of which has seldom been seen. Mother Nature just needs a little warm-up time, that's all.
You are so full of baloney, but it's inspiring. Mother Nature really must have spent some time on you.
As a matter of fact, she did. I was born 2 weeks overdue and have yet to catch up. As a matter of fact, I'm late now. I have a little strategy session with my father.
Yes, time and the Capwell business stops for no man.
Indeed, they don't, but this business has to do with the latest re-entry into the Capwell clan.
Ooh, let me guess. Gina.
Suffice it to say, she has not been welcomed with open arms.
More like open fire. I'm surprised she lived long enough to see her wedding day.
Yes, well, you know what they say about missed opportunities.
I was joking. I won't have you going to prison, not until I'm pregnant. Then you can go.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll talk soon, huh?
I may have some time in the next couple of days in case you're still willing to go all the way with this.
I think that's an apt description.
Mason!
I love the fact that despite all, I can still elicit that uniquely Wainwright reaction. Mason?
Goodbye, Mason.
We'll talk soon, huh?
Mason.
Wait, Miss Lane will have a glass of your finest Chianti, okay?
No, mineral water.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the matter?
Oh, Victoria, Pearl.
Hi, May.
Oh,
Are you all right? I couldn't help noticing from across the room that you...
I had some bad news about a friend.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Mm-hmm. What friend?
What?
And Victoria, you know, some people are their own best friends and worst enemies.
Pearl, this is none of your business.
What is the matter? Hey, easy. Are you okay?
Just get me out of here.
Yeah, get your purse.
Why didn't you say something, Kэрolайн? I mean, Alice hasn't heard anything about her father in years.
With everything she's been through, I hardly thought I could just walk in and calmly announce that her father's in prison.
But she would have found out sooner or later.
Well, I realize that. But I wanted to try to determine exactly what kind of a man her father was before I talked to her about it.
And have you?
Somewhat. Now, I always felt that our justice system bent over backwards to protect the innocent, but I do believe Alice's father is a case where the system has failed.
You think he's innocent?
Well, he doesn't deny that a policeman was shot, but he claims he was protecting Alice.
And do you believe him?
Yes. Yes, I do. Of course, I don't really know all that much about him from our few visits, but he seems to be basically a good man.
When do you think that you might get around to telling her about this?
Gus, that's her father. He's up for parole soon. He asked me to help him.
Well, you are a very compassionate woman. He needs a lawyer. What about Julia?
He does, and I have already decided to ask her. But I also heard that if a good word is put into a man's parole board from someone with a certain standing and influence, that it carries a great deal of weight.
standing. Listen, if you're thinking of me, Caroline, I don't have the standing I once had.
No, you wouldn't seem impartial. You're Alice's guardian. But what would you think about my asking СиСи? I'm sorry, but СиСи Cantwell, I'm not the one to ask. СиСi Cantwell wouldn't do anything for unselfish reasons. What's in it for me? That'd be about the size of that. Wait, but do you think he would be able to help me?
I'm really not the one to ask. Caroline, we have a long history of animosity between us, СиСi and I. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a good word for each other.
And I doubt he'd take very kindly to any request coming from me.
Well, that only adds to your luster in my eyes. Did the two of you part on bad terms?
You might say that. I have to put all that behind me now for Alice's sake.
You're amazing, you know that?
Please.
No, you are. I mean it. I know you felt a debt to Alice's mother. But what you're doing goes far beyond that. Really. It's something.
Lionel, I want you to promise me that our conversation here will remain strictly between us.
Of course it will. I can't thank you enough for having confided in me.
I've wanted to. I mean, you've been so dear. Gus's parole hearing is in a few days. I'm going to have to talk to СиСi tonight.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
Well, look at it this way. I'll change here. I mean, we can check out of here anytime we want. Which, I mean, I'll stay here, but I'm certainly not going to live off it, Dad.
Hey, there you are. I can hardly believe the news when Gina told me. I can't tell you how glad I am to have you guys.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you. I just want to lay it up on you up front here. This is just a trial arrangement.
All right. All right, I understand.
No problem.
It's all right, I said. I have faith everything's going to work out.
Is Gina here?
Yes, she's upstairs putting the finishing touches to Ted's old room that you two will use. Why don't you go up and see if you approve of it?
Sure.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'll take that up for you.
Listen to me. I'm glad you're here for selfish reasons, but I know deep down here, you know this is where you belong.
Well, what about Heyli?
Look, I know what you've been going through. My marriage to Gina hasn't exactly been a picnic, but you're very young. A year will go by in no time, and then you can dissolve the marriage to Heyli. You are an honorable man, my son.
Why do you figure that?
For seeing through this whole commitment to Heyli.
Well, thank you.
And now that you and Eden are back in the house, we can pose a united front against Gina.
Dad, I agreed, you know, Gina deserves whatever you throw on her. I mean, I just didn't come here to cause any trouble. But let's say if I were to make Gina stay as miserable as possible, where would this leave Heyli?
Look, son, they're being related. It's regrettable to put you in an awkward position, I know that. But you're a Cantwell, son. And whatever is best for the family, that's got to come first.
Welcome home.
Gina.
I wanted to make things special for you.
I see, thank you.
And I'm going to tell everybody to do whatever is necessary to make sure that you and Ted are happy. Where is Ted?
He's downstairs with his dad.
Good. That'll give us a chance to chat. I can't tell you how much it means to me having you move in here. I'm living with a bunch of people that act like I don't even exist. If you think I moved in here just for Brandon or for money, you got it all wrong. I want that sense of family that other people have. That's why I'm glad you're here. Someone on my side. I need you. I'm so glad you're here.
I told you, I'm fine.
Yeah, I know what you told me, sweetheart, but people who are fine, they don't pass out in busy restaurant.
I got up
okay?
too fast, that's all.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll see what the doctor has
No,
to say
don't
about
call
it.
a doctor.
Well, sweetie, you lose this round. Now, you said no to the hospital, but I am definitely going to call.
No,
right here.
don't
My
tell me
favorite
what to
doctor.
do.
Victoria, too many people ignore signs like you have. You know, I mean, when you almost pass out, you see, your body is sending you a message. If you choose not to pay attention to that message, it sends you another one, sometimes more severe. Now, I have his name right here, and I'll...
Damn it, Pearl, I saw a doctor today.
Well, it isn't natural for anybody to pass out unless they're sick.
I am not sick. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Look, I'm all right. I'm fine. Why did I tell you?
So, that's what the phone call was all about in the restaurant.
Yeah, you know, I'd started feeling queasy, and I had sort of a suspicion, but I wasn't sure until I got that phone call.
There's no question about this.
No, none at all. So what am I going to do next? Started making all these plans, you know, to leave Santa Barbara, all these options, and all of a sudden they seem so irrelevant all overnight.
Well, are you sure that getting pregnant doesn't have to do with at least one of these plans, Victoria?
What do you mean?
Come on, Tori, I'm no dummy. I mean, I know that you and Cruz, probably something happened out there when you were stranded on the lighthouse, and, I mean, if you are casting about for any way to sort of rekindle his interest or his sense of duty or...
How dare you? You think that I am so useless that in order to get a man's attention, I am going to get pregnant?
Okay, well, you tell me why you're still here after announcing that you were leaving, and I'd
You
be
have
happy
no
to
right
believe more
to make
than
any
otherwise.
assumptions about my relationship with Cruz or with any other man in my life.
Okay, then it isn't Cruz's baby that you are carrying.
This is none of your business. You know, I thought you were a friend, and obviously I was mistaken.
Look, forget about the father issue. The main thing is, are you okay, and what are you going to do about it?
Don't you see? I don't know.
Mason, you know that Ted and Hayley are here? They're moving in. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, but it does complicate matters somewhat.
What matters? He understands that he's got to be on our side in his dealings with Gina. He knows I'm determined to get her out of the house.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Eden and I may have stumbled on the perfect solution to the Gina problem.
Oh, what is that exactly?
The death of Kelly.
That's not even remotely funny.
It's not intended to be. But if we plan carefully and execute with precision, I think we can convince Gina that Kelly is no longer with us. And once we do, what good will her precious tape be to her then? You don't have to clear a dead woman of murder.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Gina is too canny. She would spot a rat knowing we all of a sudden announce that Kelly is dead.
I agree. That's why we stage an elaborate kidnapping first. We hire security people we know and trust. They'll engineer the kidnapping and make sure that there are several unimpeachable witnesses to testify to it.
Ostensibly, the motive is money?
Exactly. We'll have them send ransom notes. You'll be suitably distressed. Sophia will be on the verge of hysteria. And then we'll get word that the kidnappers panicked and Kelly was done in.
Like hearing my worst nightmare come to life. You think you'll get my damn tape back?
Dad, even Gina won't be able to contain her sympathy at the death of your daughter. She'll certainly hand over the tape to clear Kelly's name posthumously.
I like it. I don't like it. Must be desperate to even consider it.
Well, pleasant and painless it isn't, Dad, but we can make it work. It serves a double purpose. It'll clear Kelly, and it'll get Gina out of our lives forever.
What will?
What are you doing lurking in the background, Ted?
I wasn't lurking. I just came to get the bags. Why, what are you two up to?
Mason's come up with an idea about something.
We may have a way of making Gina an offer she can't refuse.
Really? Well, how would you do that?
Until I've had a chance to go over it with Dad, I'd rather not discuss it.
Look, son, do us a favor and give us a few minutes alone,
Oh, excuse me.
You know, we really shouldn't have done that. He is on our side, you know.
Dad, with an undertaking of this nature, the fewer the people that know about it, the better off we are.
Not so sure about that. All right, Mason. I didn't send you to Harvard for nothing. Where would Kelly actually be after she has been presumably kidnapped?
You know, I have always been the only real optimist about your marriage. And now I just know it's going to work.
I'll leave you most of the drawers.
You want to know how I know?
So I'll just take a few drawers. You have the rest. Okay?
I'm going to tell you.
Space.
I know it's going to work out and that you're going to make it. Because now you've moved into this house where you can feel like a family. It's going to be a wonderful influence on you.
If we used your marriage with my dad as an influence, Gina, we wouldn't have a prayer.
I admit that my marriage to СиСи isn't perfect.
Gina, it's a disaster.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice, and here you are on my knees treating me like barbed wire.
Mr. Capwell?
Yeah? Oh.
Your father would like to see you downstairs.
Right. Marie, you just call me Ted.
Ted, look, I really do want to help the two of you, and I just hope that your father doesn't say anything that's going to turn you against me.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Gina. There's nothing that my father could say that would change my feelings about you.
Well, doesn't this place just ooze charm?
You know, Ted's father is so excited about having him be back home, and he just treats me as if I'm part of the luggage.
СиСi's a jerk, what can I tell you? Especially if he's snubbing his own daughter-in-law. That's all the more reason for you and I to stick by each other. Now that you're here in this house. Now, look, I know that Ted doesn't like me that much, but he's still sweet and sensitive, not like his father. I think the two of us could win him over.
Oh, Gina.
He's the only capo I've ever met that has anything that remotely resembles a true human emotion. I think we should be friends.
You don't care about Ted. You know, and I really don't think you care about me either. You're using the both of us just to get in the good graces of СиСи. Come on.
Hey, how can you say that?
Because you have practically admitted that the only thing that matters to you is СиСi, Capwell.
I care about you 100 times more than I do СиСi. Why can't we just start over fresh? Don't you think I know, and everybody else in Santa Barbara knows that I've done a lot of foolish things in my life? But I want to make up for it. All I'm asking is that you love me and you forgive me.
You ask an awful lot sometimes, you know.
I know. But I know you can give a lot, too. I don't want to be here when Ted comes back, so I'm going to go. Hold it, Gina. What are you doing? After all, you are married to the man.
But that doesn't... You know why we're married.
Yeah, and I know the look you get in your eye anytime you're in the same room with him. So why don't you just get close and let nature take its course?
In town?
Yeah. I've come here to tell you about that.
Oh, that's great. You're gonna love Santa Barbara, kid. I mean, sunshine, bikinis, dolphins,
I'm only
whatever.
staying here for a little while. That's for Alice.
Oh,
Alice.
For Alice. Well, that's fine as long as we get a chance to talk.
No.
Sit down.
You know, I knew that you would misunderstand this, Michael. Nothing has changed between you and me.
I don't think you have as much control over what changes and what doesn't as you might think you do. Okay. For example, you are here, right? Hey, wait a minute. I think you only want to remember the bad things, you know, the things that hurt about the past. But aren't there some memories in you that are beginning to kind of like surface?
Sure.
I mean,
Plenty
I
of them.
can't think of a time when we were kids, when we weren't tight, we weren't laughing, we weren't crying together.
Well, so?
We weren't on some crazy adventure.
That's what brothers do.
I mean, you were so much a part of me that when you were suddenly ripped away, I didn't know who I was anymore. So you know what I did?
What?
I became, like I thought, the kind of person you would want to be. I mean, not a writer. I don't have the imagination for that sort of thing, right? But I became a serious student, dig this, of ancient languages. You laugh. Let me show you something. Right over here. I earned a place in the ranks of the eggheads. I did translations. I wrote monographs for scientific publications here. Homer's The Iliad, a new translation from the original Greek. What do you think?
Michael Brad.
Mm-hmm. See, everything that you stood for, that I ridiculed you about in the past, I became everything.
Well, you weren't the only one in our family who ridiculed me, Michael, as I remember.
I can't do anything about what Father said. Don't you understand from this how I felt about losing you, though?
Look, I haven't had to rely on anyone for 5 years, right? I don't have to start doing that. I don't dare do that.
You can't still hate me, Bri.
Don't you call me that, Michael.
Please accept my apology, Ted. You were dead right. Mason and I had no valid reason to keep you in the dark about this.
Well, I still object, but obviously I'm overruled. Ted, I can't tell you how vital it is that this be kept secret.
That's all right, all right. Now, what is it?
Basically, we are staging a kidnapping of Kelly.
A kidnapping?
Yes.
And ultimately her death.
What?
Mason believes that if Gina thinks that Kelly is dead, she'll turn over the tapes because it'll be useless to her.
Oh, Mason, that's a wild idea.
I'll grant you that.
But wait a second, how are we going to make sure that Gina's just going to fall for this?
Well, that's why secrecy is so important. The fact of the matter is, we have to engineer and stage a genuine kidnapping in order for this to work at all.
I'm counting on your silence, innocent.
I suppose the main person you want me to be silent with is Heyli.
Heyli is Gina's flesh and blood. That is a lot stronger bond than a few uttered words in a jail cell marriage ceremony.
Dad, I hate being in this position.
You're being put in this position to help your sister. Better get things moving. I gotta make some phone calls overseas to get things in the works.
Back in the house one night, and already you're in the middle of an intrigue, huh?
Yeah, well, that's how things happen around here.
Well, Ted, what we're doing for Kelly takes precedence.
I know, I got the point.
Did you? Ted, I've lived in and out of this house for a number of years now. I've schemed with and against almost everybody in the family. But what it boils down to is that's what they are, family. And nothing takes precedence over those ties, even if they're black ties.
Was that the end of your lecture?
Yeah. Now it's time for question and answer. You really are in love with Heyli, aren't you?
Well, I don't know. You know, if things were different, yeah, I think the two of us could be in love.
Heyli,
СиСи, Kэпвеллов.
Good evening, СиСи. I'm sorry to bother you.
Hello, Kэрolайн. What is it?
I have a favor to ask. I need to talk to you tonight, if possible.
Well, I'm afraid my hands are full tonight. What is this in reference to?
It's personal.
Really?
It wouldn't take up a great deal of your time. I promise you that. It's very important to me.
All right. You can be over here in 20 minutes. I think I can find some time for you.
I'll be there then. Thank you, СиСи. Wish me luck.
Wait a minute. What is this? You can't seriously be thinking about having an abortion. Wait, no. Sit down. Please, sit.
Thank you for seeing me, СиСi.
You perked my interest. What personal problems could you have possibly want to discuss with me?
Well, I was talking to Lionel about it. He felt you might be able to help me some way.
Oh, really? Lionel sent you?
But the point is, Lionel seemed to think that you know a lot of influential people in California.
All right, Kэрolайн, don't start trying to flatter me, please.
People who might be able to influence a parole board.
Why don't you just lay it on the line,
Gus Jackson is in prison. He'll be up for parole soon. I'd like you to use your influence to see that he gets it.
Oh, you have a hell of a lot of nerve, lady. You know that.
Look, I would never do this, СиСi, but there was no one else.
No one else? So you come to me. You actually want me to make phone calls and get your ex-boyfriend out of prison?
He doesn't belong there, СиСi.
Why the hell should I believe that? Why the hell should I even care?
Do you think it was easy for me to come here?
It was certainly easy for the two of you to run away together, wasn't it? You know how many fight contracts I had to pay off because of that?
Oh, that is all you ever gave a damn about, the money it cost you. Yes, I was running away. We were both running away from the great СиСi Capwell. He was bought and paid for as a fighter. I was bought and paid for as a lover.
And as I recall, that's exactly what you two wanted. Lover. Don't even dignify what you were to me.
Look, I am not blaming you. Neither of us was. We let you buy us, but we just couldn't face it anymore.
So you come crawling back to me to get your boyfriend out of prison, huh?
Now, I don't crawl to anyone. And what Gus and I had was over long ago, but he is still a good man. He doesn't deserve this.
All right. So suddenly you're on a humanitarian campaign. Is that why you... Oh, that's the reason you came back to Santa Barbara, huh? Gus?
I came to be with my daughter.
Your daughter's been here for a long time. Why right now?
I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Did Lionel understand when you told him about your affair with Gus?
This does not concern Lionel. And I wasn't sure your ego could take having your worst enemy know that I left you for a black fighter you owned. Yeah, when I met you first, you were a passionate and compassionate man. The years have not improved you.
Good night.
Oh, gee, well.
Gina really outdid herself.
Lovely. Thank you. I did eat dinner before we came, though.
No. All right? Huh?
Just that I can't quite get over how I used to work here, and I waited on you.
Does that make you feel uncomfortable?
Well, actually, I guess if that was the only problem, I think I could deal with it.
Well, now, Haley, I think we both knew that this was not going to be easy for either one of us.
I know.
I just want you to believe that it's going to get better. I mean, I believe that.
I want to.
Right.
Please accept my apologies for the interruption. I just wanted to say how delighted we are that you've decided to move in with us, Haley. We're all very happy.
Thank you.
Well, this looks like the perfect first dinner in your new home, so I'll just say good night. Why don't we give the newlyweds some time alone, Gina?
Well, I think he wants to make us feel at home. You really aren't hungry, though, are you?
No.
No?
I'm actually rather tired.
Oh, all right. Well, do you want to go to bed? I mean, if you're tired, you...
No, I know what you meant. Yeah, I think I'm going to go upstairs.
Okay.
Please, eat. Too good to go to waste.
All right. I will. I'm starving. I'll just see you up there in a few minutes.
Caroline, I have to admit that СиСi's help would make things look a lot brighter for Mr. Jackson.
At least he could have used his influence to help Alice.
Is there any chance of his getting this parole at all?
I've checked out the boards that he's going to be appearing in front of him, and I'm afraid that they're all conservative and not inclined to early releases.
I let Gus down.
No, it's not your fault, Caroline. It's СиСi.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't say that we should give up on this. He's got a good prison record. So what I'm going to do is check out some other avenues, and but I got to tell you, if СиСi helps, it'll make things a lot better for him.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate this.
Don't give up, okay? I'll see you later. СиСi.
Julia? Caroline Wilson in there?
Yeah, actually, I was hoping that you'd come here to change your mind about...
Excuse me.
СиСi.
Lionel, want to talk to Caroline alone, please?
If it's all right with Caroline.
Good grief, I'm not going to dismember the woman.
All right, СиСi. I know you hate me. And I know you've had some pretty ill feelings with Caroline in the past. But this is about Alice. That girl needs time with her father. And not in prison.
Gus is Alice's father. Now I understand everything.
Heyli?
I'll be out in a minute.
Who put these roses on the bed?
Gina must have. You know, she's just trying to make everything romantic.
She would. Roses make me sneeze.
Victoria, you can't get an abortion.
Don't you lecture me. A woman is entitled to have an abortion if she wants to.
I know a girl, my brother's girlfriend, and I arranged an abortion for her.
What?
What is the matter with me? It's an entirely different situation. It wasn't safe, it wasn't legal, and here I am spouting off of it. It was my fault. I guess whenever I still have some emotional baggage about this. Whenever a woman starts talking about a...
Pearl, I don't need your advice.
I know.
I'm trying to sort through this all by myself. All I know is that I have this little baby inside of me. And it's growing and it's alive. And the last thing that I want to do is harm it. You know, but maybe it's a blessing. For 5 years, I've been wandering around aimlessly, trying to find some purpose in my life, something meaningful and real. Well, this is meaningful and this is real. And even though I didn't plan it, this is my child. And if I can provide for it, and I can love it, even if the father isn't around.
You know, I know Cruz, and he's not going to stand by and watch you raise this child alone. I think you know that. Now, are you going to tell him?
Don't tell anybody about this. You gotta promise me not a word.
I promise you.
I'm sorry about the rose petals.
Oh, it's okay. Gina was just trying to be nice.
Well, good night.
Yeah. Good night. Sweet dreams.
at least happy to be here?
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good.
Good. Sweet dreams to you, too.
Mind if I join you? Only lushes drink alone.
All things considered, being a lush is preferable.
Now, wait a minute, Mason. Can't you just spend a few minutes talking to me? After all, we used to have some pretty good times. Even a few laughs. It's so lonely in this house.
We're just getting started, Gina. By the time we're through, you're going to be the loneliest woman on the planet.
Just what exactly are you doing here anyway? Are you and СиСи up to something? Are you cooking up some scheme against me? I know you are. I can just smell it.
Well, there must be something wrong with your senses then, because we haven't found one yet. But when we do, we won't hesitate to use it. And when we've got you, Gina, we're going to come for you in the middle of the night and bury you, high heels, earrings, and all in the bottom of Lionel's dinosaur pit.
Go ahead and try whatever you want, Mason, but it won't work. Because I'm on to you. I'm on to all of you.
All makes sense now.
СиСи, what do you want? Are you going to help me or not?
Oh, 19 years ago, you ran off with Gus.
We don't have to go over this again. If
Now
you're
you
not
come
gonna
back
help
to
me...
Santa Barbara, and you spend all this time in Lionel's house with Alice, who just happens to be Gus's daughter.
Jane lives here, too.
Does Jane know?
Look, I'm talking about Gus. He's an innocent man.
You know, I bet all these years, no one else knows. Just you and Gus. Because no one else knows that Gus is Alice's father. And you're the mother. Right, Kэрolайн? Am I right? I am right.